January 2023 brings Moonshiner Role bonuses to Red Dead Online, and with reports suggesting there may be many new players in the game, I thought it would be a good time to reopen an old debate. Which Moonshine Shack location is the best? A while back, while working on another video project for the channel, I took the opportunity to move my shack all over the map. Over the course of several weeks, I got a first-hand experience of what life was like at each of the 5 shack locations. I learned what the terrain was like in each area, what the delivery locations were like, and how long it takes to complete every delivery. As a veteran player, what I found wasn't exactly surprising, but it was helpful to have the experience of each shack location and finally review the data. Now that the Moonshiner Role is on bonus, I'm ready to share that knowledge with you. So without any further ado, let's jump in and finally settle this debate once and for all. Maybe settle this debate once and for all? Hopefully settle this debate once and for all. First up, Bayou Nwa. The 8 deliveries for this location are Scarlet Meadow Stable, Rhodes Fence, Rhodes Parlor House, the barn at the farm north of Saint Denis, the shack, also known as Crawdad Willie's, Bastille Saloon, Doyle's Tavern, and the Saint Denis Fence. The terrain in the bayou is extremely flat, and the roads are mostly straight, which is great for transporting your breakable bottles. However, several of the deliveries will bring you to the possibly crowded and often narrow streets of Saint Denis. Here, other players, pedestrians, stagecoaches, tight turns, and even trolleys can not only slow your delivery times, but damage or destroy your wagon completely. A few specific pain points include this tight turn on the way to the barn north of Saint Denis, the stagecoaches and wagons which block the way to the fence in Saint Denis, and the final section of the shack delivery which swerves along this bumpy road through the mud. As for the delivery times, they break down like this. The barn at the farm north of Saint Denis, 1 minute 45 seconds. Bastille Saloon, 2 minutes even. Doyle's Tavern, 2 minutes 15 seconds. Rhodes Fence, 2 minutes. Rhodes Parlor House, 2 minutes 15 seconds. The Saint Denis Fence, 3 minutes. Scarlet Meadow Stable, 2 minutes 15 seconds. The shack, Crawdad Willie's, 2 minutes 45 seconds. Of note here is that the longest delivery, the Saint Denis Fence, comes in at only 3 minutes. As we look at the deliveries from the other shack locations, we'll use this as our baseline. Next, let's look at the Grizzlies. The 8 deliveries for this location are the barn at Downs Ranch, the homestead at Ches Porter, the cabin, also known as Watson's Cabin, the cabin at Lenora View, Hanging Dog Ranch, King's Saloon in Valentine Saloon, also known as Smithfields, and the cabin, also known as Lucky's Cabin. The terrain here is mountainous and rocky, which makes for a terrible combination when transporting breakable bottles. Most of the deliveries will bring you to secluded places, where you are unlikely to encounter other players. However, there are deliveries which will bring you directly into the heart of Valentine, where you are much more likely to find someone looking for trouble. A couple of specific pain points include the extremely tight turns at these revenue agent roadblocks. As for delivery times, the breakdown looks like this. The barn, also known as Downs Ranch, 2 minutes 30 seconds. The homestead at Ches Porter, 3 minutes 30 seconds. Hanging Dog Ranch, 2 minutes 45 seconds. King's Saloon, 4 minutes 15 seconds. The cabin at Lenora View, 2 minutes 45 seconds. The cabin, also known as Lucky's Cabin, 2 minutes 45 seconds. The cabin, also known as Watson's Cabin, 2 minutes 30 seconds. Valentine Saloon, also known as Smithfields, 3 minutes 30 seconds. With longer delivery times, rough terrain, and higher possibility of running into other players who mean harm, this location should rank low on the list for most players, especially those who are new to the game and new to the Moonshiner Role. Next up, let's look at Hennigan Stead. The 8 deliveries for this location are Armadillo Saloon, the shack at Riley's Charge, the homestead at Pleasant House, Fort Mercer, Mercer Station, the cabin at Old Bacchus Place, the shack at Brindlebrush Trawl, and the chapel, also known as Coots Chapel. Here, the terrain is flat and the roads are mostly straight, which is good for transporting your breakable bottles. However, Some deliveries like Fort Mercer will bring you over winding roads, and there are some areas which are surprisingly rocky. Specifically, the delivery to Pleasant House can be challenging as it brings you through the narrow, rocky road of Jorge's Gap. If running into other players is a concern of yours, you might find you are less likely to encounter them in the wide open spaces of the desert. As for delivery times, the breakdown looks like this. Armadillo Saloon, 3 minutes, 30 seconds. The Cabin at Old Bacchus Place, 4 minutes. The Shack at Brittlebrush Trawl, 2 minutes. The Chapel, also known as Coots Chapel, 4 minutes, 15 seconds. The Homestead at Pleasant House, 4 minutes, 15 seconds. Fort Mercer, 3 minutes, 30 seconds. Mercer Station, 3 minutes, 15 seconds. The Shack at Riley's Charge, 2 minutes, 15 seconds. Again, we've encountered longer delivery times. However, this location differs from the Grizzlies location in that most of the deliveries are over roads that are wider, straighter, and less rocky. If you're a new player, you can do worse in this location, but you can also probably do better. Next, let's look at the Heartlands. The 8 deliveries for this location are the Barn at Carmody Dell, the Homestead at Larned Sod, the Homestead at Guthrie Farm, Emerald Ranch Fence, Butcher Creek, the Shack at Brandywine Drop, Van Horn Saloon, and the Van Horn Fence. The terrain here is a mixed bag of flat, grassy hills for some deliveries, and rolling, gravelly foothills for others. At its best, this location offers quick deliveries to the area around Emerald Ranch. At its worst, it forces you to make the long trek up to the far northeast corner of the map. Also, there are 2 deliveries, the Van Horn Fence and the Van Horn Saloon, which share a major pain point by way of the train track crossing on the outskirts of town. After the long journey just to get to the area, if you aren't careful on the crossing, you are almost guaranteed to break a bottle. As for delivery times, the breakdown looks like this. The Barn at Carmody Dell, 3 minutes, 30 seconds. The Shack at Brandywine Drop, 4 minutes, 30 seconds. Butcher Creek, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Emerald Ranch Fence, 1 minute, 30 seconds. The Homestead at Guthrie Farm, 2 minutes, or 1 minute, 45 seconds with a shortcut. The Homestead at Larned Sod, 2 minutes. The Van Horn Fence, 4 minutes. The Van Horn Saloon, also known as Old Light Saloon, 4 minutes. Of note here is the Emerald Ranch Fence delivery, which is quite possibly the shortest delivery in the whole game. However, the possibility of getting that quick delivery can be undone by the possibility of getting one of the 3 deliveries, which take at least 4 minutes. If you value your time above all else, you may want to consider another Shack location. Last but not least, let's look at Tall Trees. The 8 deliveries for this location are the Homestead at the Strawberry Stables, the Shack at Fort Riggs, Blackwater Saloon, Blackwater Camp, Quaker's Cove, the Cabin at Aurora Basin, Thieves Landing Fence, and McFarland's Ranch. Here the terrain is mostly flat, however, it can be hilly and rocky at times. Several of the deliveries will take you across the upper and lower Montana rivers, where, if you aren't careful, you can break a bottle. Also, approaching these bridges on the way into Thieves Landing at a high speed may cause you to lose a bottle. Most of the deliveries from this shack will take you away from encounters with other players, but there are a couple which will bring you directly into the heart of Blackwater. As for the delivery times, the breakdown looks like this. Blackwater Camp, 2 minutes. Blackwater Saloon, 2 minutes, 15 seconds. McFarland's Ranch, 3 minutes. Quaker's Cove, 1 minute, 30 seconds. Thieves Landing Fence, 1 minute, 45 seconds. The Cabin at Aurora Basin, 2 minutes. The Homestead at Strawberry Stable, 2 minutes, 45 seconds. The Shack at Fort Riggs, 2 minutes. With all deliveries taking 3 minutes or less, this location is on par with the Bayou location. If time is your biggest concern, this might be a nice alternative to the swamp. There you have it, a breakdown for each Moonshine Shack location. In summary, if you're someone who values your time above all else, your best bet is the Bayou or Tall Trees. If you enjoy a little more time away from other players, you may find the peace you seek at the Heartlands or Hennigan Stead locations. And if you're someone who doesn't mind breaking a bottle or 2 here and there, or if you're just looking for an additional challenge, you may find the Grizzlies location most appealing. Now for the part where you tell me your opinion. Be sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section and tell me which shack you think is best and why. If you enjoyed the video or found this information helpful in any way, a like is very much appreciated. If you're new to the channel and want to get more content just like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and set it to all. I do gameplay live streams and frequently upload videos just like this one, so if that sounds like something you want to be a part of, I hope that you'll visit again sometime soon. Thanks for watching, and take care.